Hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Tarang Chelawat as our guest. Sir is a 2019 graduate from Jindal Global Law School, Sonepat, and has recently completed his diploma course on Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code from NLU Delhi. Sir is a practicing advocate at High Court of Madhya Pradesh, Indore bench. In this episode, Sir shares a wide range of experience from his mooting career to interning with Supreme Court Judge Justice Indu Malhotra ma'am, and of course his professional journey. I'm sure you'll get to know a lot of things that you had no idea about, and this episode will give you a lot of clarity. So watch this episode and let me know how do you like it. Hello sir, how are you?
I'm good, Rashmi. How are you?
I'm good as well, sir. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm glad to see you here.
Thank you so much, Rashmi. It's completely my pleasure to talk to you. And if I can help you in any manner in future, also just let me.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, so starting with your founding and managing director at CLAS Legal. You're a speaker, leader, practicing advocate, and whatnot. But how do you prefer to introduce yourself the best?
So, Rashmi, as you already know, my name is Tarang Chelawat. I'm a practicing lawyer at the High Court and Supreme Court. I practice in other tribunals also, before other tribunals also. But if you want me to introduce myself, I would like to introduce myself that I have amazing mentors. I'm someone who has amazing mentors and amazing team. And because of them only, I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Okay. In your answer, we can see why you are a great leader and why do people tell that you are a great speaker as well.
Thank you so much, Rashmi. That's so kind.
Sir, you are a graduate from Christ University, if I'm not wrong.
No, absolutely not. I'm from Jindal Global. I've graduated. I did my law from Jindal Global Law School.
I'm so
Sonepat.
sorry.
That's completely okay.
Yeah.
I did my law from Jindal Global Law School, Sonepat, and after that, I did my diploma in Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code from
Yes.
National Law University, Delhi. So yes, I'm not a Christ University
I'm so
graduate.
sorry I messed up. But
No, that's okay. Completely okay.
sir, yes, we'll talk about your diploma. But sir, I think people go into litigation because they do not get good placement in the campus. But I think Jindal gives pretty fancy placements. So how did you choose and why did you choose litigation over the corporate job?
It's not like there's one reason for joining litigation. See, there are always many reasons to do something what you're doing, right? So I did corporate internships. It's not I did not do corporate internships. From the very first year, I started doing internships, and eventually I realized that corporate is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Why I realized that? Because first of all, the corporate work culture is not that good. Some firms, they do offer good salaries,
Right.
but overall if you'll see that, okay, the corporate firms offer decent salaries, but also when it comes to litigation, for first few years there's little struggle.
Right.
But once you're done with that struggle, the money which litigation offers is nowhere is in comparison to any corporate law firm. So obviously first few years are difficult, but once you're done with that, you'll get rewards also.
Okay.
And see, basically, if you can see recently, couple symbols, salary got viral. Sorry, per hearing fees got
Sir.
viral on LinkedIn also. So I just highlight that how much he's charging per hearing. After giving so many years, I know it's like
But
he has
then
given like
it's a
40 years
long
of his life.
journey.
It's a long journey, but the rewards, you see that 70-80% of the population in the country, their entire salary is his per hearing fees.
Right.
He's like charging 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs per hearing,
Right.
and 1.25 CR for outstation per hearing. So that's huge.
Right.
So I feel like litigation is something which is very challenging also. But once you start getting rewards, it's quite fascinating, and you start enjoying it also.
Right. So, sir, talking about challenges in litigation, what is your biggest learning in this 4-5 years of your practice?
So I would not say it's a challenge, but the biggest learning, if you'll ask me, then if you want to learn something, just keep doing that. Like, for example, if you want to learn something, if you want to learn how to argue in court, start arguing. If you want to learn drafting, start drafting. That's actually, the basic learning is, if you want to learn anything, start doing that.
Right. That's
Also, so when it comes to litigation, there would not be all the months would be same. Some months would be, you'll get you'll make good money. Some months would be like, okay, there are not much clients this month, and it's like a decent month. But then you need to be, stick to it. You need to be, keep your head, down, and keep working. Keep working till the time, you are at a level jab aapko, every month you are getting enough money. So you'll eventually it happens.
okay. So what is your core practice area?
So, Rashmi, right now I deal in all kind of cases. For first few years at least, you can't judge that, I want to take this case, I want to take this case. First, you want to do all kind of things. First few years, you try to do all kind of things because it gives you an exposure also.
Right.
And eventually, what happens once you start doing things, you'll be able to know, yeah, these are the areas where I am, more interested in. Right. Like when I started, for my first couple of years, I did everything. I did criminal matters also. I did matrimonial matters also. I did commercial matters also. Eventually, I realized that, matrimonial is not something which I want to do it. I want to, go ahead with commercial litigation because of few reasons, including financial reasons also, because of the clientele in, commercial matters. They have good clientele. Companies, you need to deal with companies. And when it comes to other cases like criminal matrimonial, you deal with people where their stories है ना, आप लोग को मन नहीं करेगा उनकी स्टोरी सुनने का कि यार वो पति पत्नी के झगड़े कब तक आप सुन लोगे दिन भर. But so I feel like,
yeah, sorry, please continue, sir.
So it's like, for first few years you do everything. You do, and obviously if money is coming, why would you say no to, any money which is coming your way in the first few years of the struggle? So you do everything. Eventually what happens, you realize that, this is something which, I'm fascinated about, or this is something जो मैं अच्छा भी कर सकता हूँ. There are things कि यार क्या होता है कि you might not like it, but you are good at it. So this thing also happens, and you feel like, you have given result to your client in that matter, so you can take more of that matters.
Right. It happens vice versa also. You are liking something, but you're not really good at it.
Yes, it happens. So it happens, like a lot of people say that, matrimonial matters are very easy to do.
Yes, that's what I was about to ask. You said that matrimonial matters are not something I would enjoy, but a lot of advocates do enjoy those matters because
I'll tell you what happens normally in matrimonial matters. When, if you are, from the wife's side, at the end of the case you get a good reward.
Okay.
And normally in India, people deal with in a different kind of manner the matrimonial matters. So the fees in matrimonial matters is very huge, very huge. People don't know this, but it's quite huge at the end of the case. So therefore, a lot of lawyers prefer matrimonial cases, and also because it's very easy.
Yes.
But it's not like that challenging. It's very, kind of straight process. You know what to do, what not to do in the matrimonial.
Yes. I've interned like 2-3 litigation internships I've done. So all the matrimonial matters, they take out the file of some other case and they just copy paste that after, because almost 80% of the case is same.
So true. That I completely agree.
Yes.
80% of the case is same because, see, there are certain things which Supreme Court has, laid upon on all the family codes, including there are certain affidavits which husband and wife needs to file, and there are certain formalities which needs to be completed. Like before, if you're filing a case, you need to file an affidavit stating your income, stating your last 3-4 years of ITRs, and there are certain basic things because of which the wife would be ordered maintenance and the husband's salary or any whatever he's earning, based on that, wife is being ordered for maintenance, for alimony, and for other things also. So there are certain things which are same in all the cases when it comes to matrimonial matters.
If you are filing also, it from wife's side, Lalita Kumari case is always there. If you are filing it
and
from
also
husband.
There are 3-4 things in which is common. Aap 498 ki FIR daloge. There would be a domestic violence case. There would be a maintenance case. And once you are done with this, either there would be a mutual divorce between the husband and wife, or there would be a divorce case from the husband side or from the wife's side. So this is a common thing in all the matrimonial cases. You will have to follow this case. In some cases, wives do not prefer to go to the police station and lodge an FIR. But then rest apart from this, the process is same in all the matrimonial cases.
Mostly.
Yes, mostly.
So, sir, you have recently completed your diploma in insolvency and bankruptcy code from NLU Delhi. But there's a debate between law students. Like, if we open LinkedIn, we can get hundreds of certification courses, diploma courses, and uh, mostly it is used to add charm to your CV. So, after
Mhm.
practicing for like 2-3 years, why did you go for a diploma course? Like,
So, Rashmi, honestly, I'll tell you, it's actually cherry on the cake. So, obviously, when you are doing litigation, had it been on offline program, I would not have joined it,
right,
honestly. So, what I did was an online program. It was offered by National Law University, Delhi, and the program was in a manner that you'll be able to interact with your colleagues also, and everyone there mostly were graduates or practicing lawyers, or some people were students also. So you get to interact with a lot of people when you join such programs. The only reason of joining such programs is not to learn whatever they teach you. It's actually available online also.
yes,
It's just that there are some good faculties available, and secondly, the batch, you get a lot of exposure through the batchmates. You get to interact with them. So lately, I know that one of the people I know from the NLU D program only. He helped me in one of the cases, which is in which was my matter only, but which was placed before one of the Delhi courts, and he helped me a lot, and I was able to deal. I was able to take that case because I was able to know this person through NLUD.
okay.
So you get to know, you get to learn, and obviously a lot of people say that at the end of the day it only adds charm to your CV, which is true. I completely agree to that fact that a lot of people join such programs because they'll be able to show it in their CV that they did this from this
Yes.
college or this college. But yeah, it helps also. And why I did this, because when in our profession also, after a certain years of practice, your name goes for either senior designation or higher judiciary.
Right.
So at the time of if at the time of recommendations also, you get a lot of edge. So if you are from a good college, if you have done your diploma from a good university, and from any other good college, it actually gives a very good impression for the judges also.
Oh, wow. I did not
So
know this
therefore,
fact.
yes. A lot of people. So, Abhi, recently, when a lot of lawyers, their names were going for designation as a senior advocate from Indore only. So, we have checked a lot of CVs. There are a lot of their profiles,
Okay.
which was open for everyone to see on the High Court website.
Oh,
And we have seen that how they have tried to put everything in their CV in order to impress the judges, so that their name gets recommended for the senior designation.
in fact, there is a myth that you don't need to build your CV if you want to go for litigation. So what's the culture is कि अगर आपको corporate में जाना है, you do a lot of competitions, publications and everything. And if you want to go for litigation, you just intern. You don't need to build your CV. This is the general trend which is going on, at least
But
in
I
Indore.
true, but I differ. I have a very different opinion on that. I feel like even if you don't build your CVC, when you do mooting, when you do research, when you
Right.
write research papers, it's not just because you want to show it in your CV. You get a lot of things when you do this, because you learn a lot of things. You get a lot of skills. So, like for example, if you are writing a research paper, you need to do a lot of research before this. You need to interact with people also who have already published their papers in some reputed journals. So it actually helps you develop your skills on. And a lot of people say that if you want to go for litigation, you don't have to do all these things, but it actually helps you in litigation. For example, if you're doing mooting, right? And mooting is not just very plain. You need to research in mooting. You need to draft in mooting. You need to have confidence before speaking
Right.
in mooting. So there are a lot of different things. When you do mooting also, it actually helps you in litigation directly. So it's not just because you want to show it on the paper on CV that you did all these things, therefore you should be a litigator.
Mm.
Also, not in Indore, but in many different cities, they see your CVs before taking you in their chambers also.
Mm.
In Indore also, up to certain extent, some good seniors, they see your CV, and based on your merits, obviously they'll select you if you are if they want you to be in their office, some seniors do, they check your CV very seriously. And a lot of people don't know this. They actually check your CV very seriously. And if you're good enough, and if they feel that you are, capable enough to be in their office, then only they give you this opportunity to work with them.
Right.
So it's not like it's a myth that a lot of people say that you just have to keep interning and you will be able to end up doing good litigation. It's not like that.
Right. So you have been a mooter yourself. So I can see that a lot of things you mentioned already, those skills which you acquired while mooting, it certainly helps you in litigation. But there is this debate like research paper versus mooting. A lot of what is your opinion on that?
So I would say if there would be, see, you need to do all the things. Whatever is, see, some people are good in, writing. Some people are good in speaking.
Right.
If you want to go for litigation, I would suggest go for mooting rather than, research papers. I'll tell you why. See, Indian courts are based where whatever you speak in courts, more importance is given to that. Right? Also, when you do moot, it's not like you are just speaking or you are just improving your oratory skills, but there are other things also. For example, when you are dealing with a moot proposition, if you have received any moot proposition, first of all, you need to leave this, mindset that you are doing it for just for the competition or just for some marks. You need to have this mindset that there is a client that has approached you, and you are doing this for that client. And when you go with that mindset, you prepare very thoroughly, you prepare very properly. And eventually what happens, once you start doing litigation, that mindset actually helps you. You feel like you have already done this before also. So, you get a lot of edge when you do mooting. And not only that, I've seen some good mooters, they are doing very good in litigation. And a lot of good mooters are doing very good in litigation. Now, comparing litigation, mooting with research paper, I feel some people are not that confident in speaking in front of other people. They feel like, they don't have to do all this kind of things in litigation, and mooting is very different. But at the end of the day, mooting helps a lot.
It does.
Yes, be it communication. And I remember when I started mooting, I remember we used to enjoy mooting because, we used to go out. We used to, meet with different kind of people. I remember one moot competition. I went to this NUJS Kolkata, and they offered a very good party also at the end of the mooting. And some people had that motivation that, when we go to good colleges, there's good parties also. You meet a lot of new people also. So I think, see, different motivations, but if you are doing mooting, it helps a lot.
I'll share one of my recent experiences. So we went for this KK Luthra Moot Court competition in the month of March, last month only. And the semi-finals and finals of this KK Luthra competition was at Silver Oak Indian Habitat Center. And it was a legal party. It was not just sports ki, like it happens in our college. Courtroom mein, there's judges, there's students, and it's just a moot. There it was like a full function, and I think more than 50 advocates and people from Delhi Bar Association were there. It was a complete party, and wow, that was something else.
I completely agree to that fact, and there's nothing wrong with that. See, if you want to go outside, if you're going outside in a moot court competition, there are a lot of advantages also. You get to learn a lot of new things. Like I remember in our quarterfinals at NUS, the judges were so good that after that round, the tips which they gave me, that helped me in reaching, so basically I was adjudged as the best male advocate in the last competition I attended. And the reason was the only tips which they gave us in NUJs. And I remember one of the tips which they gave was that, so basically there was a female judge and a male judge. So I started with saying, "Your Lordship, I can, this is Your Lordship." I was not, focused towards that. There is a lady also
acknowledging the presence of
the lady. So at the end of that round, so basically what happened, I took the permission. If Your Lordship would permit, if the bench would permit, I would like to, call the bench as Your Lordship. So she straight away said no, just to check me. And for the entire round, what I did, I used to say that Your Ladyship as well as Your Lordship. So they really liked me and they gave me a lot of points for that.
Okay.
Had it been some different competition or some different round, it would have been, yeah, it's okay. They would have considered to that, my request, and they would have said, okay, you may say your lordship. But because of that challenge, it helped me in the other competition where the very first thing I did was like, if your leadership would permit, I would like to refer the bench as your lordship. And she got impressed that I,
Right.
acknowledged her. And so everything is learning. At the end of the day, you learn a lot.
In the freshers moot court competition that we have in the first year, where we are introduced to mooting, we were in the finals. We won that competition, but I was crying. I mean, the judge grilled me so much, like I was literally in tears. But then eventually it helped in all the moods that I went.
Yeah, I know. I know. Grilling actually helps a lot. Grilling actually helps a lot. A lot of people say that judges should not grill, but you know what? It gives you confidence. It gives you, confidence that you can speak, you can think on your feet.
Right.
You can, face questions when a judge throws any questions at you. And for first few rounds, you might feel like, no, no, yeah, the judge was not good. But you will get the lot of benefit in other moot court competitions wherever you participate after that round.
But I was a first year kid.
I know. It happens. A lot of people say that, for first, but they are not aware that you are first year
Right.
kids. Huh?
But it was
Normally, the
fun also.
competition judges are not.
And it helped
Huh,
me a lot.
it helps a lot. It helps a lot for
Yeah.
sure.
So please share your experience of working with Indu Malhotra, ma'am, like interning with her.
Yes, so Rashmi, I would say that it was very good internship because I was able to see a lot of senior advocates. I was able to see Kapil Sibal arguing. I was able to see Mukul Rohatgi arguing. I remember a day when I was sitting just next to Mukul Rohatgi sir, and it was the first bench. So basically, when you're interning with a Supreme Court judge, I don't know the trend right now, but at that time the trend was you will get the pass. Since you are legal intern to a judge, you can go to any court anytime. There are no restrictions for a judicial judge, judicial intern.
Okay.
So what used to happen is I used to sit in all different kind of courts, and I used to see very different kind of seniors. I've seen Harish Salve arguing in person. I've seen Mukul Rohatgi. I've seen Kapil Sibal. So I remember once I was sitting and Mukul Rohatgi sir was just sitting next to me and he was just sleeping. And the very next minute, I'm seeing him and he's going and he's arguing so fluently, so nicely, and so aggressively that you can't judge that this is the same person who was sleeping just 2 minutes back.
Right.
So you get to, and when I see now, when I read news about Mukul Rodgi sir and all these people, great lawyers, I feel so happy that I've seen them arguing in person. So you feel good that I've seen all the creamy layers of the lawyers arguing, and now I can also at least I've seen them, so I can try to do adapt
Right.
that kind of aggressiveness or that kind of oratory skills in my litigation practice.
Right. It inspires you for your
It
entire
inspires you.
uh,
Exactly. And when it comes to Indu Malhotra, ma'am, so basically when you are interning with a judge of Supreme Court of India, what used to happen is first you go to Supreme Court, and after Supreme Court, you go to their house. So their office, normally the office of the Supreme Court judge is at their house only. So what used to happen after Supreme Court, we used to go to her house, and her house was, first of all, it was a motivation for all of us that they get such big houses.
okay.
Such big houses is a motivation for all the people that if you want to see, if you want to go for judiciary, just your target should be a Supreme Court judge,
Right.
right? And
Target.
secondly, I've seen that Indu ma'am was so hardworking. She used to work from morning till night, and after coming from the court, she'll just take a break for half an hour or 45 minutes. She'll again come to the office and she'll work till the time we are sitting. She'll work till 9:30, 10, and next day she'll again be in the Supreme Court, because every day all the Supreme Court judges has to deal with a lot of cases.
Right.
And so basically our job was to make the case briefs. She can't read all the 100, 200
Right.
files, right? So what we used to do, we used to make case briefs, and based on those case briefs, she'll be able to go through all the files. So first of all, you get to learn a lot when you when you intern with a judge, and you get to meet a lot of people also, because all the people who intern in such before such with such Supreme Court judge and all, they actually build their CVs also. Otherwise, you don't get this internships very easily.
Right.
So this is also one thing that, obviously you need to build your CV in a way that if you are targeting for good internships, be it litigation internships, be it good judiciary internships or corporate internships, they see your CV. That's the
Right.
first thing, because that would be the first impression for any person. Recommendations do help, but your CV also matters. If you don't have any connections in litigation, if you don't have any connections in this field, then you need to build your CV first.
Right. So I was interning at Delhi International Arbitration Center, Delhi,
Mhm.
and Indu Malhotra ma'am was an arbitrator for a case.
Okay.
Everyone was on their toes. Like, she has this super disciplined and a very strict kind of personality,
Mhm.
and her aura was such ki the best of the people were there. We were told that if you enter the room, you cannot leave before the proceeding ends, and like, you can feel that something is different today. A lot of Supreme Court judges do come as arbitrators there, but I've never seen that kind of aura.
Yeah, I know. But when we used to work with Hindu ma'am, I remember that she was so disciplined that we all used to be a little. We used to feel like whether we should ask this thing to ma'am or not. But she was also very calm and composed. Whenever we have asked anything to her, she has replied so properly. You don't feel like you are interning with a Supreme Court judge, with a person of that stature, and she's replying to your questions so calmly, and dealing with every question of yours so very properly. You feel like reaching that height and maintaining that kind of calm and composure is also a thing to learn from a Supreme Court judge.
Definitely. And these competitions or internship, this give you a lot, like a big networking opportunity. You get to see a lot of.
Yes, absolutely. So basically, networking is one of the very important factors if you want to join litigation. That is for sure. See, I know that I have a lot of friends in Bombay, in Delhi, and because of them, I'm getting a lot of cases also. That's actually the honest truth. And these people are, working with good firms, with very good seniors, and their firms need some local counsels also in different cases.
Right.
Like if they have any case in Indore, like recently, lately I've gotten few cases from Amazon India also, and that was because of this fact that my very close friends are working in firms where they have their clientele, good clientele like Amazon India and all this big companies. So you get to, when you have good network, obviously it helps you in getting good cases also. That is for sure, for sure.
Right. So, my last question to you is, how do one decide their career path? Because today we are not confined to the blocks of litigation, corporate, and judiciary. I think we have options more than ever, but these
Mhm.
options does not give us clarity. Rather, we are more confused. So, how should
Mhm.
one decide their career path?
So see, basically the broad, you need to first of all classify law, legal practice in three areas. Now there are a lot of different options also, either litigation, judiciary, or corporate job. If you want to, classify in these categories, then first of all you need to decide that whether so you have highlighted it two three times that internships helps a lot. Now this is the right question where internships would help. So you need to start interning from the very first year. So why I decided that I don't want to be a corporate lawyer and I don't want to work in a corporate firm, it's because I interned in a corporate law firm. So I realized that it's not my cup of tea, because the work culture and the work which they want from you. And first, even if you are earning money, in my internship, corporate internship, I got a very good stipend. My corporate internship gave me a very good stipend
People are
as a
getting
law student.
stipend for internship.
Yes. Some corporate law firms, they do offer it stipend. So I got a very good stipend. But at the end of the month, I was like, no, yeah, this is not something which I want to do for the rest of my life, even if I'm getting paid properly.
Right.
Because the work culture was very difficult in that firm. I don't want to mention the name of the firm, but they don't allow interns to take their phones inside the office. And maybe because of that reason, and maybe because of other reasons also, that I felt like I don't want to do corporate job for sure. So this was one of the reasons that, and this clarity I got because I interned.
Right.
Eventually I mooted also, and mooting helped me in realizing that I can be a good, at least a decent litigator.
Okay.
So yeah, mooting actually helped me with that clarity. And a lot of people say how to get clarity that if you want to go for judiciary or not. So for judiciary, I would say that first of all you need to go to district courts and see the judges sitting there. They have a lot of work. It's not like judges sitting in the district courts, they don't have work. There are a lot of pendency and a lot of judges are working very hard, right? So if you, and with judiciary the job would be little less challenging, less, there would be a straight kind of job. But the first, if you are ready for couple of years, if you can give couple of years for the judiciary preparation, judiciary is also good option. And now a lot of people feel like there are only three options in legal field: judiciary, litigation, or corporate. But there are a lot of other opportunities also, which
Right.
people don't know. Like I'll tell you, there are a lot of so if you're doing LM from a good NLUs, a lot of government sector companies also give very good placement opportunities, and their work is not that difficult as corporate law firms, but also work culture is good. And a lot of, I've seen a lot of people now started like for example, if I've seen a lot of people entering after COVID, they are making podcasts also for that reason. A lot of people are having this kind of opportunities to do a lot of things in in legal career now, right? So there are a lot of different options now for any person entering legal field. You can start your podcast also, you can take it to the different level.
Right.
And the money which I think nowadays YouTubers make, I think it's huge,
They are
very huge.
making crazy money. But sir, that's the
Yeah.
problem. Now we have so many options that now we are even more confused.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, the confusion goes once you start enjoying your work. So if you feel like, I'm enjoying my litigation work, at the end of the day, it is based on your interest. If you want to do something where your interest lies, that would be the best thing.
One needs
No,
to
it's not
explore.
like a fixed path. Yeah, one needs to definitely explore before deciding that I want to do this or this thing. So because once you start exploring, you'll be able to think, yeah, this is something which मैं ये कर सकता हूँ for the rest of my life. मैं ये enjoy करूँगा. मेरे को अगर 50 साल भी ये करवा लूँगा, I'll enjoy it. So
Right.
if you are going with that mindset now, you will be able to enjoy the things which you will, do in your life.
Right. Sir, thank you so much for taking out time. I really enjoyed talking to you. And in fact, I get a little nervous because this is just my seventh episode. I'm a beginner. But I get
Uh-huh.
intimidated and I get nervous. But you really made this conversation very smooth. So thank you so much.
No, no, Rashmi, that's actually so kind of you that you invited me, first of all. And in fact, for me also, I'm at that stage where I'm also learning every day. And we all learn and we all make mistakes. That's very normal. We, after making all mistakes, only we learn. So
Right.
that's actually the right way also to learn.
Right.
Unless you do something, you don't learn anything, because when you do something, you make mistakes also. And when you make mistakes, you try not to repeat the same mistakes.
Right.
So that's how you learn. So actually, you're doing a good job. All the best to
Thank you
you.
so much, sir.
And may your podcast also becomes the top legal podcast in the country. I wish
I
you all
hope
the very
so.
best.
Thank you so much, sir.